This is Wizard Grandpa's Stories. Oh, there you are. How nice to see you. Welcome to Wizard Grandpa's Stories. Today, I would like to tell you the story of the donkey, the table, and the stick. Now, once upon a time, there was a boy called Robin, and he lived with his mother and father in a cottage in the countryside, and they worked hard every day to make a living for themselves. Nearby was another cottage, and there lived a man and a woman with their daughter, Margaret. And Robin was very much in love with Margaret and wanted to marry her. So one day he said to his father, "Father, I would like to marry Margaret, for I am in love with her." Said his father, "We have no money. You have nothing at all. How are we to support another mouth to feed in this house? If you want to marry Margaret, you must go and earn your fortune." "Then I will do so," said Robin. And he set off straight away. On his way, he said goodbye to Margaret, and he set off through the countryside, determined to find his fortune. After he'd travelled a little while, he saw a little old lady carrying a bunch of sticks on her back. She stumbled, and several of the sticks fell onto the ground. "Wait," said Robin, "let me help you." And he picked up the sticks and helped the old lady. And then he said, "Let me carry them for you. This bundle looks too heavy for an old lady like you." And the old lady said, "Very well, young man, come along with me and take the sticks to my house." So he carried the bundle of sticks all the way to the old lady's house. And there she said, "Thank you for helping me." And the boy said, "Oh, it was nothing at all. Is there anything else I can do while I'm here?" "Well," said the old lady, "I am in need of some help here. In fact, if you would stay here and work for me for a whole year, then I will give you payment. And I will give you a very good payment you will be happy to have." "Well," said Robin, "that sounds like a very good offer. Yes, indeed." So he stayed with the old woman for a whole year. He looked after her garden, chopped her wood, maintained the house, cooked for her, cleaned for her, did everything a good servant and working man should do. And at the end of a year, she said to him, "Now then, Robin, you have worked well this year. I have your wages here." And out of the shed, she pulled a donkey. Well, Robin didn't know what to say, because a donkey didn't look like very good wages for a whole year's work. But he was grateful nevertheless. "Thank you," he said. "Thank you very much." The old lady said, "Don't thank me yet. You don't know what this donkey can do. Watch." So she took hold of the donkey's ears and pulled them both sharply at the same time. The donkey said, "Hee-haw, hee-haw," and out of his mouth came a shower of gold and silver coins. Oh, I see," said Robin. He gathered up the coins. "Keep them," said the old lady. "You have earned them for your year's work. Take the donkey. Whenever you pull its ears, it will give you some more coins." "Well, thank you," said Robin. "Thank you," for now his fortune was truly made. So he set off to go back to his own home. But he set off rather late, and it was far to his mother and father's house, so he decided to stay in an inn. He put his donkey into the stable, went into the inn, and asked if there was a room for the night. The innkeeper said yes, indeed, there was a room, a very good room, and plenty of food, but Robin would have to pay him first. "Oh, that's fine," said Robin. So he went back out to the stable and he pulled the donkey's ears hard. "Hee-haw, hee-haw," said the donkey, and out of his mouth came a shower of gold and silver coins. Well, Robin stuffed them into his pockets, went back to the innkeeper and said, "How much would you like, innkeeper?" Now the innkeeper had been watching when Robin went to the stable, and he'd seen how Robin had pulled the ears of the donkey, and he saw the coins come out of the donkey's mouth. "Well, well, well," said the innkeeper, "this donkey is too good for that poor boy. I think he should be mine." So the innkeeper took Robin's donkey right to the back of the stable, and in its place he put one of his own donkeys, a very ordinary donkey. But it looked almost exactly the same as Robin's. The innkeeper left that donkey there and went to bed. The next morning, Robin got up, had breakfast, and thanked the innkeeper for his hospitality, took the donkey and set off home. It was a long way to his father and mother's house, but he got there, and he went in to his father and said, "Father, I am home. I have made my fortune, and now I can marry Margaret." His father said to him, "You've made your fortune? What fortune have you made? Come, I will show you." His father came outside, and there stood the donkey. Robin pulled the donkey's ears sharply, like that. And the donkey said, "Ee-haw, ee-haw," and nothing else happened. Robin pulled the ears again, even harder, and the donkey went, "Ee-haw, ee-haw, ee-haw," and bit Robin's hand. And what's more, it turned round and kicked Robin's father. Oh dear," said Robin. "Something has gone wrong. I don't know what." "Foolish boy," said Robin's father. "There is no fortune here. How do you expect to marry Margaret without a penny to your name?" "Very well, father," said Robin. "I will go and seek my fortune one more time." So Robin set off once more from his house. On the way, he visited Margaret, told her what had happened, and promised to be back within a year. He went a different way this time, a long and winding road, and then he met a carpenter. He saw him sawing by the side of the road, by his carpenter's workshop. And Robin said, "Excuse me, can I be of any help?" "Well," said the carpenter, "I am in need of an apprentice. I need someone to help me. I have so much work. Can you work with wood?" Well, Robin's father had taught him how to use an axe and a saw, how to cut wood and make nice things. So Robin said, "Yes, surely I can work for you." So the carpenter said, "Very well. If you work for me for a year and a day, I will pay you very well." "Very well," said Robin. "So shall it be. I will work for you for a year and a day, and then you will pay me." "Yes," said the carpenter, "I will." And so for a whole year Robin worked for the carpenter, and he worked very hard. He was a diligent and honest worker. And at the end of that year, on the day after the year ended, he said to Robin, "Now it's time for your reward." "Oh, thank you, sir, thank you." The carpenter went to a back room and lifted out a table, just small enough to carry. He put the table down in front of Robin and said, "There, that is your reward. Your wages for a whole year of work. A fine table." "Well," said Robin, who didn't want to be rude, "thank you, sir, that's very kind, I'm sure. It's a very nice table." But it didn't seem like very much for a whole year's work. The carpenter said to him, "Don't worry, lad. This is a special table. Watch this." And the carpenter went to the table and said, Table, be covered. And suddenly, out of nowhere, the table was covered in plates and dishes of the most wonderful food. Help yourself, lad, said the carpenter. And Robin and the carpenter sat down and had a wonderful meal. And then when they could eat no more, the carpenter said, watch this and remember. Table, uncover yourself. All the dishes and the plates and the knives and the forks disappeared, and the table was empty once more. Well, said Robin, that is a fine gift. I thank you, sir. I thank you for that. And the carpenter said, and I thank you for a year and a day of hard work. Well, Robin went home. He carried the table on his back. But it was a long way to go home, especially with a table. And halfway he came to the inn where he'd stayed before. And he knew he had to stay there this night. So he went inside, and it was the same innkeeper. And he said to the innkeeper, Innkeeper, can I stay here the night? Yes, of course, said the innkeeper, but you have to pay me first. Well, Robin still had some money from the donkey. He paid the innkeeper for the room. The innkeeper said to him, I suppose you'll be wanting something to eat as well. Oh, no, said Robin. There's no need for that. Watch. And he said to the table, Table, be covered. And the table was covered with plates and dishes of the most wonderful food you can imagine. And he invited the innkeeper to sit down and eat with him. They had a wonderful meal and were full as full can be. And then Robin said to the table, Table, uncover yourself. And all the dishes and the plates and the knives and the forks all disappeared. The table was empty once more. Well, said the innkeeper, that's a very fine table you have there. Oh, yes, indeed, said Robin. It was a gift from a carpenter. Where would you like to put the table, sir, when you go up to your room? Oh, where can I put it, innkeeper? Well, you can leave it here. It will be quite safe beside me. Very well, said Robin, and he went up to his bed. As soon as he'd gone, the innkeeper searched all over the inn to find a table that looked exactly like Robin's table. And sure enough, he found one. And he brought it downstairs, left it there, and took Robin's table away. Well, Robin came down the next morning. The innkeeper had prepared breakfast so that Robin wouldn't need to ask his table for food. And the innkeeper fed him very well and sent him on his way. Robin, carrying the table on his back, staggering through the countryside. Finally, he arrived at his mother and father's house. Father, mother, I'm home, and look what I've got. His father and mother came out of the house and saw him carrying a table on his back. Is this the fortune you have made, my son? Asked his father. Oh, yes, wait till you see it. Robin put the table down and said, Table, be covered. Nothing happened. Table, be covered. Nothing happened. He tried one more time. Table, be covered. Nothing happened. His father was not impressed. So, Robin, this is what you have to show for a year of work. Not very good, my son. I shall try again, father. And Robin set off. He visited Margaret on the way, told her what had happened, and she promised to wait for him, and he said he would come back as soon as he could. This time he went in a different direction, hoping to have better luck. And while he was walking, he saw a man chopping down a tree right beside a river. Hello there, called out Robin. Can I help you, sir? Well, yes, any way you think you can. So Robin climbed up to the top of the tree, So when the man chopped it at the bottom, his weight on the top pulled it down over the river, and crash, it fell all the way to the other side. The man walked across the new bridge and said to Robin, "Well, thank you for your help, my friend. You made that very easy." "You're welcome, sir, you're welcome." "I'd like to give you something as a reward," said the man. "There's no need," said Robin. "Oh, yes, there is. Just cut off one of those twigs there, would you?" So Robin cut off a nice, long, strong twig from the tree. And the man said to him, "You can keep that as a reward." This didn't seem like very much of a reward, but Robin didn't want to be rude, so he said, "Thank you, sir, I'm sure." And the man said, "Ah, don't you worry," said the man. "This is a very special twig. It's not just a twig. This is a strong stick. And all you have to do is say, 'Whack, stick, whack.'" And the stick suddenly started leaping around. And then the man said, "Stop, stick, stop." And the stick was calm again. And the man said, "All you have to do is say those words I'm not going to say, and this stick will whack anything you want it to." Oh, said Robin, "that's an unlooked-for present, thank you, sir." And he set off on his way. And he thought, what a strange present to have. But then a thought came to his mind. It suddenly became clear to him what had happened to his donkey and his table. That the innkeeper must have stolen both of these things from him. And now he had a magic stick. So he found his way back to the inn, and he walked up to the innkeeper and said, "Good morning." And the innkeeper said, "Good morning," pretending nothing had happened. And Robin said, "You stole my donkey, didn't you? And you stole my table, didn't you?" No. You are mistaken, young man. I don't know what you're talking about." And then Robin said, "Whack, stick, whack," threw the stick in the air, and it started to beat and beat the innkeeper. It whacked him and beat him, and he ran around the inn shouting and screaming and begging for mercy, and the stick whacked and whacked and whacked. "Help, help, please, please." Robin said, "Give me back my donkey and my table." Very well, just stop the stick." Robin said, "Stop, stick, stop," and grabbed hold of it before the innkeeper could. The innkeeper showed him where his donkey was, and he showed him where his table was, and he loaded the table on top of the donkey and set off home with his own 2 rewards, which he had justly earned. Finally, he arrived back at his mother and father's house with the donkey and the table. And he showed his mother and father just what the donkey and the table could do. And at last his father accepted that Robin had indeed made his fortune. And he allowed him to marry Margaret. And they got married and lived happily ever after. And as for the stick, well, Robin never had to use it again, but he kept it in a cupboard, just in case. And that is the story of the donkey, the table, and the stick. Thank you for watching and spending this time with me. I hope you come back again and listen to another one of my stories. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and bring all your friends with you when you come back to Wizard Grandpa's Stories. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.